All right, so for a kindred, Kindred, so it's red, but it's red blood. My kinship at Brimstone and Greystone, which is just me and my betrothed, and then whoever he decides from there, personally, with a personal whatever. So this is, they said on the Air Force versus Army, the coach, the brethren with the thingamajiggy that swings down that he talks on, that God only knows who. Maybe God, maybe makes a recording. I don't know. Maybe he's calling like for hot wings. Who knows? Right. So whatever he does on that thing, right? Yeah. So he was wearing this color, and the army guy was wearing black, which I got on my jeans. And then for like whatever sketches. All right. So now here's the deal. You have to think to yourself, little girl is getting pulled and poofed, just like an apparition. Oh my God, why is she just apparating in someone's field of view that looks like a kitchen, that has a physical MIDI address of 9942 North North 4th Street, 4THSTREET, in a place called New Hyde Park in the state of New York, in the hemisphere of the Americas, in the North American quadrant. Now, why would that little girl, her parents know nothing about it. In fact, if you talk to her parents would be like, hey, my daughter just flew into your kitchen and was sitting there talking. Yeah, right? Yeah, okay, sure she did. Right? Okay, fine. Yeah, very Midwestern American. Right, yeah, okay, so, right. That's why we don't go out in the public as extra on the set of some other movie. Right, so if you're like Children of the Corn, in like, we have cornfields, we have apple bobs, we bake pies, we play music, we have a folk dance. Oh, it's wonderful. Right, yeah, okay, great. I don't live in the same world, I live in the same world, I just don't live in the same reality as you. You're like a Disney movie that everybody wishes they can aspire and wake up in. Right, yeah, okay, so there's other movie sets, like this is Universal, a big movie theater production company. Right, okay, so in your little back lot of one movie picture, you're like, oh my goodness, like the tractor and the girls, the guys and the gals, and oh, it's so romantic. They read books, they don't watch TV, and they speak so well to one another. Oh, it's like the good old days when like we had the world in control of something, like home meant something, and the respect of the adults and the children was like, ah. Right, okay, so that thematic is like what I call heaven. It belongs like right over about, we'll call it black magic for the moment, because that's what I'm aspiring to, is like right here for like home on the range. Right, yeah, not the gun range, but that's what I'm working with at the moment to get my black magic back to where it belongs so I don't want to lose you and churchy folks in like, now she put her skirt over her head. No, that's a euphemism for the gun range boys that play jock club and Air Force, like Army versus Air Force on the football field with thingamajigs that were never like cowboy approved out on the range. Right, yeah, they don't know what to call this thingamajig either unless they have some friends on the gun range. Right, yeah, so don't get confused my part with yours. Great. Okay. So that's like a little, I don't even know. You don't wake up and know what a shark is, right? There's no water by you and somewhere in Iowa, right? Yeah, got it. Lots of cornfield, flat land, right? Yeah. Okay. And if it's a little hilly everywhere, like whatever, get over it, right? So, if I was talking archipelago shark person, but at a gun range, because they know what a shark is and they know what Iowa was, Why is Iowa voting on whether a woman is a whore or not? Just curious. Right. That's a death penalty where I come from. Anyway, I don't care who your husband, uncle, brother, sister, mother, whatever. You are all expendables on the emergency management plan. The planet at world is breaking in like universal scales that someone who drives a tractor doesn't know about. Got it? Great. Okay. Now we got that one all hunky-dory. There's a thing in my life. I am the only one born with it because of who I am when you all don't exist, which is, I mean, like you're like a rolling fucking project in Universal Theater Company. It's really hard to feel when you break this bad. I mean, we have emergency management services. I'm writing it here. Ready? I am what's called ESS. That is my RMS is here on importance. That's the royal. Then you've got the U.S.S of other somebody specials that follow orders and are able to hold tight control over like one reality of what we need to do without breaking out into like diarrhea of the mouth and riling up the kids and all the wrong methods. At least that's how emergency management worked when we first set the gear in motion to protect you idiots in Humanville at any color. Right, I don't care, homeland, color, water, animal, mineral, like, I mean, venereal disease. Well, you're all speaking something. It sounds like wah, 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 broken. Right, yeah, great. Okay, so me at EMS level, right, we are, all right. So I'm at EMS. If you're RMS, that comes above because the RMS is supposed to prepare for when the EMS comes down. We're the medics. We don't get out of the office much, and we definitely don't like hanging out in your manifestations when it's this broken because that means other people are trying out for a job that's already filled. Just we can't seem to get me to where I need to be, and that's dangerous. That's how it breaks even more. When you give kids with medals in USS priority at RMS because you don't like the EMS, but then, oh my God, wait a minute, they're not prepared for this genetically, cognitively, intuition-wise. Right? They didn't pay in, they don't get out, and they are going to tax us all on the back end. Now you're following along. Okay, so on EMS scale, here's Nicole. She only comes out of the closet when there's a droll. It's a DROLE. Notice the last 3 digits. It's OLE. Great. So when droll, got it? Starts, droll is like a kind of like a, ha, you wouldn't imagine what I did, but like, I know you need me, so you're not going to hurt me, but like, I need help fixing this. And they ask for help. That's a droll. Got it? Great. When there is a foul, that's right, we go with, oh, fuck, I had it earlier. I got to go back to that one. All right, so we have droll, and then there was droll, and droll goes, no, that goes to fester. It's droll, and then it is dole, right? Because on droll, then they dole out. That's DOLE. That's when you like hand out things, but only after emergency management has corrected. Now, emergency management only has one choice. It's Nicole. Now, there's a Niklaus, which is why we gave you Christmas. Christmas has Klaus, Klaus. It also has a Santa Claus, Clause. The lawyers in the corporate stupid on America's soil. You still have lawyers somewhere. They didn't kill them all. I mean, I thought chopping their arms off was a good idea, but whatever. There's some of you that might have been useful. I haven't met any. The clause, right, the Santa Claus, great. So emergency medical management that keeps all of your realities in check and you not growing into disgusting, tumored whatever, along with other dimensional problems. Told you there's one Nicole and there's going to be one Nick Klaus. Nick Klaus is married to another part of the world. It's like shoelaces for the two of them. He goes one way, she goes the other. So now she happens to land in Santa Claus territory as a holiday. The place he lands up in is something about a Yule, Y-U-L-E, because they were told about emergency management. It's a log. It's like standing on the river on a log in your frock and with clogs on, made of wood, no less, because wood doesn't it doesn't bend. So we whittled wood clogs. We put your frock on. We then got you all dressed up on a wood log in the water, freezing cold, by the way. I mean, it's like temperatures why did your mother, like polar bear temperatures. And now he's just rolling on the log, like running in space just to keep his balance because they messed up Christmas over in America, whatever, and your Iowa sister over there that doesn't know what a whore looks like or means or how it's Horace's mother, right? No, the guy with the frock on the log that's spinning and like we think he's like a Delta Air Force like SEAL team, something special. Oh my God, that's right. We got him out of the frock this lifetime. We put on some like Army gear, Navy gear, naval orange, whatever color he wears in like Iowa and somewhere in a frock territory has siblings of whatever, and we got him out of there. We got him on like something special. He's like gonna try to help save the world. He's a superhero this time. We had to take the frock off, but he'll come home on like holidays maybe and put it on for the community if it's still a thing. We're trying to save the community. Right, got it. Okay, so now I've got him over there, her over here. You're hanging with the Yule. She's over in, good Lord, what? Right, yeah, okay, I know. I got you menorah kids with 10 or 8 candles, right? Oh, there's the eternal flame. Blow out each one. Oh, wait, you did that before they got here, right? Okay, anyway, so there's one of them, one on each side, to male to female. They got one EMS ticket to save the world with all of you helping. Now, for every one of we call it reboots, every day she gets up in the same uniform, which is like every day because it's EMS, right? We go this way. Now, if one of you happens to not fulfill the requirement of the paperwork given to your specific company, league, club, whatever the fuck you go off of in instructions, it pulls the lace out of the EMS because there's the Nick Klaus and he's got the same line. They're trying to get together this way. Like the direction, you understand? Like she's going this way, he's coming this way. Good? Okay, great. So every day that you pull her off and you put your stupid whatever, and your guys can't pull their weight in whatever Bruce donned kindred of theirs, whether it be Christmas, Yule, I don't care who you pray to. I really don't. You gotta pray to one thing right now, is fixing your cancer route. So we're trying to do this together, right? So here you go. So a shoelace is made over here. The culprit of whatever caused that pit for the rest of management, so we are all on the same page. It's one Thanksgiving Day float. Floating down Fifth Avenue. Might be a windy day, right? But we each at teams of sealed envelopes have the day's agenda and one rope. And it's one Thanksgiving Day float, right? Great. Okay, so if one of us, like say, a guy who wants to fancy himself a Nick, but he's not a Klaus, nor is he a Claus, although he has an NDA that says we will kill you at all of the rest of us holding on to these fucking, like, ropes onto the one thing if you keep fucking up. Great, so that's the culprit. I think we put him in a movie cameo. Oh, Nick. Right, he was the really evil guy, like, with, like Luther's all burned in his black ops outfit and of robotic, like, used to be handsome, right? And then there's the senator, and that's Nick in his senator robes of all black. He is a black, cancerous, necrotic tumor that if my life went off kilter, he was your first demigod or semi-god, or whatever the fuck he calls himself, donning himself with a nickname. He is not allowed to call himself Nick. There is nobody on the planet allowed to call themselves Nick, Don, Bruce, any of the words that are akin to the RMS, the EMS, or the USS. So why are these children coming out on manifestations with all these names that are confusing everybody in international scale? Along with the cars, the planes, the phones, the computers now, and the communication level is increased in speed, along with their numbers. Why is this? They just keep breaking their shit. So now, this is a lace window is opened for superhero Nicole and superhero Niklaus in order to don together the moment of breakage. So this way they're in timeless. There's a time appointment opened. So this way it helps the rest holding the anchor line to the one Thanksgiving Day float, since usually we like to keep EMS stuff quiet, and RMS is usually the more helpful that we rely on with the more heavyweights, and then underneath that is the USS Respectfuls. I don't know, after that level of understanding, where the arms come in and the legs and the navels that don't look like they belong to my category in my homeland of New York, that walk around in all sorts of colors, genetics, Kinmans, nothing that looks familiar. Right? How are you supposed to keep the Macy's Day float like at an even keel and get RMS and USS on the same understanding level and emergency management's protocols, like on a schedule that doesn't kill us all? Just curious. Because here's the thing, Starfleet, as is Niklaus. And then I have Royal Air Force, which is just planes. And then there's USS Somebody Specials, just boats. So now, what do I do with the arms, legs, and navels that knew this importance? Because how do I keep one level of speak, one level of kindred and brethren that can rely on just each other, not to have sold secrets, not to sell their brothers out, and keep the one main mission of fixing the atmospheric conditions we got going on at emergency management at planetary level, that we can't tell the everyday moms in like apple farms and pumpkin farms and whatever in Iowa. Just curious if any of you who wanted to maim me, M-A-M-E, in any way my entire fucking life, whether by mouth, by ballad, B-A-L-L-O-T, B-A-L-L-A-D, or any other non-useful tool that a human genetic might choose to get on some committee to fuck with their own people in more ways than one by taking out the one person that's at EMS level, trying to not disrespect them, but also not make themselves so high and mighty that all of the other colors and teams feel like, well, who the hell do they think they are? And then break out in some other disgusting thought process. I have even keel at all sharks in my tank. I'm the one colossal. And I got a whole bunch of other large, well, they're sharks. Guys don't even have sharks where you are. Right. So that was good enough. We all have an agreement between one colossal and a couple of great whites. They're all the same size in theoretical. So we have one leader and not 5 great colossals trying to combat one another, while EMS is breaking more and more because they are all trying to be so fucking helpful and prove just how useful they are in some new viral mental process. So now, just curious, anybody gonna put that team together that like in the real world works? I'm still sitting pretty in New York, feeling like a fucking beat up old cow, tanned, leathered. Like my voice box doesn't work. My face has been cut up by a knife. I have skeletal issues based on the lace work that I do being pulled through a wormhole using this uniform, then getting thrown back onto my daily routine and schedule of just waiting for you all to get my fucking part right and stop playing around with fucking equipment that doesn't belong to you at RMS and USS level, lying to the good farm folks, bankrupting their farms, their resources, and giving it over to like, you forgot that, right? Oh my God, your actions at somewhere special really does affect the land people. You keep telling me they're your kindred, but then again, I saw one of my uncles sell out one of my other uncles and an aunt just to have a cigarette boat and some big wheels on a truck and not have to deal with his son, because his son's gonna be a piece of shit, arrogant motherfucker. Yeah, and really fuck up the the EMS level medics, what she needs. Disrespect the whole fucking gang. Great. Okay, so now we got that out of the way. Where is it that you all in outside of my little shit show, we're gonna step over the Yule log of shit, the heaping pile of dung I was born into without a frock, I had a log though. I've been running on the same log. Did anybody see my lace event? Oh my God. Oh, this is like inner family stuff, man. I went somehow to some like shop and I bought a shirt and a pair of clogs with, who can remember? Right, the clogs were, because somebody said they want to see clogs, CLOGS, right? Now you call them Crocs and they're made of plastic, CROCKS. You guys are really falling downhill. But anyway, mine had like a piece of leather and then it was tacked in around the toe and it was a solid wooden block that was whittled and then sanded with like a strap in the back by the heel. And Niklaus insisted, he goes, please, you know what I'm working on my side. He's like, you have terrazzo floors at school? I'm like, yeah. He's like, right, no, I'm just confirming. He's like, because I was there with you, but I don't know how much you remember whenever I see you. So he's like, great, I need you to put that on and that new shirt that your mother hates that she tried throwing out. I'm like, she tried to throw it out? He's like, yeah, see, I knew you didn't even know that. He's like, go look in some drawer she had, and that's where it was. Well, go figure. I'm like, all right. So I went in, and it was a Nike, Nike shirt. It said, just do me. JUSTDOME. And then I put on the wooden clogs and I tried my best to walk a day in a set of wooden clogs. They're not flexible, so it makes your gait, GATE, like your walk, like your bipedal movement, the gait, right? It makes it difficult because you walk like a spaz, SPAZ. You don't look right. And it's really comical to the love of your life who has some camcorder thing going on elsewhere while you wake up not knowing anything as usual. And then you tell Chris Carlson, you're like, hey, what do you think about my shirt? You pointed out specifically to the Pollock that in second grade you had some kind of special like agreement with Mark King, right? Yeah, great. Okay, so that happened, and he was just like he looked at it, and I think that was the day that Jay was there. Not the fucking piece of shit Romer. No, the Jay, the good-looking Jay that looks like he could be cousins with Niklaus. And I think he grew real tall. But he says whenever I reference him, it's Jay and Maritza because they're like Hansel and Gretel approved in Rolling Logs with Frock Children, not like anything else that might come up on now. What does she mean by this? Yeah, no, we're on inside family on that one. So the Pollock, right? Yeah, he's more of a right. Chris Carlson, him and I used to race for the same Olympian team at the field day of Lloyd Harbor Elementary. Like we would get ribbons and stuff. I'm not I mean, they wanted me to be competitive, and I'm like, listen, I'm fast. That's it. I'm like, I'm not doing competitions. And it's like I raced Chris once, and I'm like, okay, well, you're boy, I'm girl, we're good. And that's it. And it's like, great, you want to race together? Okay, great. Thank you for thinking of me, thinking I'd be a good choice on your team for winning. Thanks. I'd love to. I mean, I know I could do it. I'm just not going to go around like being all competitive and weird about it. I don't seek that kind of attention out, but if there's an opportunity. So that's how I was built. I mean, I don't get why you all got my part so fucking wrong when I'm so utterly important at farm level, but also at like aerospace industry, like important, right? Yeah, because I have a lot of lace accounts that need requiem on, and I think the guy who's not supposed to be called Nick, that came to eat sushi with me, by the way, right? That visual acuity just seems so Star Wars senator, like in the black, not like, it looks like a black burlap bag to me. BURLAPBAG. And it was a color, de colore of BLACK, which would be noir. I don't know. El Negro, NEGRO, would be Italiano or Latin, I believe, because it doesn't grow. Like when it's necrotic, the skin doesn't grow back. I mean, when you have white skin, it can, if you have necrotizing fasciitis and it spreads, or you have some kind of gangrenous whatever, or you get necrosis. I mean, it just is. And then we say it's negro because it blanco is negro back. It's yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's that was the color. That's where it came from. I mean, I know everybody wants to, in my wake-up call, like, of being here, they're all like, no, black means, like, African-American, right? But African-American doesn't mean brown. I mean, are we getting down a simple complex of, like, fecal matter now and rubbing it? Like, because not every mud is brown either. Some of it is red in clay if you go out west. But again, if you are from one little town, it is so hard to speak to you. I'm not trying to disrespect you. It's just I speak at global op level. And if you're in like one little MIDI situation, you might not get the seriousness of what I'm saying and the beauty for which my specificity is. So I need you to hold your tongue and your opinion and your judgment for somebody who gives a shit because you don't have the authority. Claro.